Here we are again. Welcome to another edition of our Success with People Insights. And today, this evening, promises to be very interesting as we look at this issue of pigeonholing from another perspective. Hi. I'm Trevor E.S. Smith. I'm with the Success with People Academy, and it is my responsibility today to lead you through this discourse about pigeonholing. So, what is the context of our discourse? Can you imagine, as it says here, being painted in a corner where this is your future? This is what it is that you're expected to do for the rest of your life, or certainly in this career. Yeah, that unfortunately is the fate of many more people than you might imagine. So, this session will be used to explore aspects of pigeonholing that, to my knowledge, have not really been explored. I haven't seen any literature that has dealt with this issue of pigeonholing based on person's behavioral styles. So this is new ground, at least for me. I haven't seen it. This is stones that we are unearthing, lifting up to see what's happening there. But let's continue to put some context around it. So, as individuals, we derive a part of our identity, part of who we are, comes from the people with whom we integrate or we spend most of our time. So, the groups to which we belong then help to shape us, shape our identity. And so, when an employee is pigeonholed, put in a group, what might happen is that the group, normally groups that are well, bonded and so on, tend to have an identity for themselves. So once the individual gets in there, eventually there is a certain identity, a certain kind of, this is who we are. And that then also now leads to the next step, that this is who we are, and we are not like that, or we are not like that, which means then we start to exclude. And if you can see that, that's where the walls start to go up. Yes, we are not like that. This is who we are, and we are a close group. And so the intergroup collaboration is not there. That, friends, is where the silos come from. And you know the challenges that there are with silos. And so I'm suggesting that we take this issue of pigeonholing seriously, because that is one way to break down silos. And that's one way of developing cohesive and inclusive workplaces, I thought. But you might say, oh, come on, you've been too dramatic, it's just typecasting. Yes, we know that from in school, when we are picking teams, we, just look at certain people and say, okay, I want this one on my team because of some characteristic that we see. And so it just carries on into the working environment. And so what is wrong? What is the problem with that? Yeah. What it does, though, it sets off a way of thinking that we might accept as being normal. Yeah, it's innocent. As against what it truly is, which is harmful discrimination. Right? Just think about the people that I'm calling victims, those who are um, subjected to pigeonholing. And you might say it's not a big thing. For example, if you look at the graphic to the right there, you know, you see somebody who is dominant, assertive. Oh, you're a natural leader. Come on, we're gonna put you in a position. We're gonna talk about something more about that in a second. Or you're eloquent. You have the gift of gab. Oh, you're great. We're gonna put you in sales. You have this nice, calm demeanor. All right, here is our next HR star. You're analytical, look at numbers well. You're either going to be in accounting or quality assurance. Really? What about my other aspirations? What about my other skills? Those are questions that need to be asked. So the plan is to look at the four major styles: dominance, inducement, steadiness, and conscientiousness, and to look at how people use those behavioral styles to stereotype, to pigeonhole, to discriminate against these individuals because of their style. So when you discriminate, when you look at this individual and to say, hey, this is your role, this is your niche, what it does in terms of the D style here is that you are, well, for all of the styles, you are actually limiting role diversity. So just work with me a little bit. If you think about HR professionals, do you have an image of how they would behave, what they think? Yes. Is there a lot of role diversity, or diversity within the role? Yeah. How many HR managers you would say, okay, fine, this person is, dominant. Yeah. No, doesn't happen. So I'm not suggesting that we need to have that kind of diversity in HR. Don't go there. But I'm just saying to you that there is a tendency then towards an identity, a sort of way of being when we pigeonhole, because that's it, we're channeling everybody who have these characteristics into that role. Yeah. So because of that as well, then you might start to have issues within the team because everybody is sort of the same, and you have inter-team issues. And of course, if I am being channeled into a particular area and that's not my objective, my career goals, I'm going to be frustrated. But let me share an insight with respect to D. I have to be quick because I've had a lot of content and I still work to get out of here within 30 to 35 minutes. We all know about the idea of the glass ceiling. Well, there's the concept of the glass cliff, CLIFF, okay? And what that is a situation where usually in a crisis and so on, or where the organization is pressured to demonstrate that they are into diversity, or maybe it is just to set up a scapegoat. What happens though is that individuals, and especially these style individuals, are thrust into positions, management positions, leadership positions, key positions in the crisis. Maybe because, okay, let's change. We have a problem. Let us fix it by, doing some wholesale changes. But what happens is that this individual is thrust into the role without the requisite training, development, or support. And usually what happens then is that they fail. And then you start to double down now to say, well, okay, fine, you see, that's why, we didn't do it because you couldn't succeed in this. So you start to have that kind of cycle going. So that's a dangerous thing, because we're just going to look for people then who look like they have the leadership qualities, thrust them into the role without any training, without the requisite support. And what is it that you expect? That concept, the glass cliff, is an important one when we think about pigeonholing, especially for these style individuals, because they are the ones that people will run to and say, hey, come on, Trevor, you can do this, man. We're backing you. Yeah, let's make it happen. All right. Okay. All right. So how does the organization deal with this whole issue then of these style pigeonholing? Well, I think for all of these styles, we need to look at role rotation, where individuals, as part of their career, they move across different roles, right? So we have a more diverse working experience, right? The other big one, though, would be to look at your leadership training programs. Look again at your leadership training programs. So we strongly advocate that leadership development programs should be guided by personal behavioral analysis of all the individuals, so that you can actually tailor the program to the specific needs. So, for example, if we are training persons who have a D-style preference, we need to get into that program courses or ideas, not just ideas, strategies for them to learn how to work more in a collaborative environment, how to be sensitive, how to sit and listen, those kinds of things. So it's not just about giving instructions and so on. So we need to tailor our leadership development programs right across the board for all the styles, so that we deal with their needs, fill their gaps. And of course, if this same issue will come up now with careers, we need to have people control more of what happens to their career. So ask, what is it that you would like to do? How is it that you want to progress? And to see how the organization can facilitate that. So, but there's responsibility on the individual's part. So in order to combat pigeonholing as an individual, my suggestion is that you should seek mentorship. Find somebody in the organization who can guide you through the maze. This is how you can get where you want to get. You need to have somebody who has your back, but also somebody who can open your mind to possibilities. Yeah, you need to also double down and invest in developing your skill set. And one way to do that is to volunteer in other areas. Yes, so you're put in this box, but you can volunteer to do something else elsewhere. All right, so that's D style. I style. We know what I style is. Let me show. It would be outgoing individuals who are very people-oriented, sociable. They're creative, great in terms of innovation, wants to connect with people, right? So they then tend, because of the communication style, they tend to get pushed into, okay, you can speak up and you can, okay, you're persuasive, sales, customer service. Ooh, what about leadership? How many workshops I've done? And when I do I-style, individuals asking me, so these people can be CEO, these people can be leader. And I'm saying, woo, yes. As a matter of fact, anymore, the world's most competitive countries, that's the style that they're looking for. That's where disruption is coming from. So that's the problem, though, is that when you do that, you're overlooking people who could be excellent leaders. Yeah, you're also missing out on the analytical skills that are resident in your I-style team members. And of course, they're going to get frustrated because, you're just putting them in a box And definitely, iStyle don't want to be fixed into one box. All right. So how is that fixed? Of course, again, go back to the whole idea of diversifying the role assignments, giving people different things to do, right? Cross training is important. Here's an important part with your iStyle colleagues, though, is one of the things that we know about iStyle individuals is that maybe, I don't know, I can't put a percentage on it, but a high percentage of what they do is not a part of their job description. That is definitely the case. They are so involved in everything, you know. It might be as mundane as simple things like helping you with a spreadsheet or, you know, putting in the tone of cartridge or something like that. But there are some other big things, you know, like helping you to sort out your strategic plan and so on. So they are all over the place, and that's not documented. So maybe one of the things that we need to look at then is how do we identify these, I don't know what to call it, outside of job description work that your iStyle colleagues do, and take it into consideration when we are looking at promotions and so on. Right? And then as an individual who is being pigeonholed, I need to show them that I do have the analytical skills that will be required in general management, right? I am a strategic thinker, you know, so I need to show these kinds of things. And given what I just mentioned about the fact that I'm doing all of these things, maybe we need to document that. And so people would see, I don't know, you know, whether we're getting it signed off on to say, yes, Trevor has been doing this and has been doing that, so that people can actually see the breadth of my skills. That's something to think about. All right. S-style. S-style, of course, we know it's reserved, people-oriented. So the steadiness, support, team, loyalty, all of those factors are there. Also, a tendency towards being understated, to being submissive. Let me just pause a quick second and just share an idea. S-style individuals tend to have a view of life, of humanity, because they are sensitive, because, sorry, they take a deeper look at others. They are figuring that people should do the same. So I shouldn't be coming to knock on your door to ask for a promotion. You should be aware of the skills that I have brought to this, that I'm bringing to the table. You should be the one that would say, yes, Trevor, definitely you are in line. Sorry, you should be promoted immediately. So they don't feel as if they should have to be pushing for promotion and so on. You should recognize my value. Unfortunately, life is not like that. And so, you know, you have to blow your trumpet. You have to, you know, do those kinds of things. And the people that blow the trumpet get ahead. What happens then is that the S-style individuals tend to get put into supportive roles as against the leadership, the top role. And so what you're really doing then, because they have the skills, they have all of the capabilities to do what it is that you are underutilizing their leadership potential. That's what is happening when you pigeonhole them. When you say, okay, fine, you'll be good as a HR assistant or, you know, some side role, personal assistant, administrative assistant. Also, because you do not see them as, you know, C-level quality, you might not invest as much in their skills development as with others. Yeah. So your D-style individual comes in and woo, and they say, oh, here's my next leader. And you send them to all the courses and all the leadership courses. Your hairstyling, the girl comes in understated, quiet, calm, etc. Okay, they're not pushing any buttons, they're not making any fuss. Yeah, sending the admin course here, etc. But you're not sending them to the Harvard course. That's the challenge that we have. Yeah, pigeonholing is not something to be ignored. It is a big problem. And of course, individuals who, while they're not coming and knocking on your door, might feel frustrated by the fact that they're not being given the opportunities that they should be getting. All right. So from an organization point of view, again, you need to diversify the roles. Have people participate in different areas. We want the cross training. And again, because style individuals are supportive, there's a lot that they do as well. That's not, again, a part of their job description. You need to take that into consideration. What do they need to do? As usual, we are saying, be less submissive. Be less submissive. Tell the people what you want. This is where I want to go. This is the career path that I want to follow. Yeah. And be more assertive. Put up, you want some more. You have a good idea. Put it into place. Write about it. Be seen. Be seen. All right? And start to build a network. That's the other thing that you can do. Start to talk to people at different levels of the organization so they know who you are, because that's how decisions are made. When the promotion is coming up, you want somebody to say, hey, remember Trevor? Yeah, right? Because they know you and they know what it is that you can do. So, yeah, be more assertive. Step out and look after your needs. All right. C-style. Task-oriented and also reserve. Focus on system structure, compliance, accountability. So those are some of the factors. All right. Because of the fact that they're very heavily into data and being, evidence driven and want to be compliance oriented, they tend to get shunted into certain areas, but they're not seen necessarily as the wider general manager, the wider CEO. That's part of the problem as well. So again, some of the investment then is to channel them into technical areas. So we're going to send you now to some more audit courses, or so we're kind of getting into a specialization as against a broader development. So that's part of it as well. So what it means at some point in time is that I might have how many more degrees than a thermometer, but I'm not considered right for the CEO job or the general manager job. Yeah. So I'm a great specialist. That is a challenge. Right. So one of the things as well is because of channeling of the individual into this special increase in specialization, you're not benefiting from their input in other areas, even in the areas of creativity and innovation. Those insights tend to be undervalued or missed. Right? And of course, if I'm going on a path that I'm sort of getting bored, I'm just doing the same thing, and not challenge, low employee engagement is a result. All right. So what can the organization do? Come back again, cross training, role rotation. And clean, we want to emphasize this idea that we need to tweak our leadership. More than tweak, we need to customize our leadership programs to behavioral styles. Give people the information that they need from their behavioral style so that it matters, it makes a difference. They can understand what it is, how they need to move from where they are. All right. And of course, you can build on their strengths. We're not saying ignore the fact that they are good analytically. But in addition to that, how can we give you skills to say, you have wonderful interpersonal skills now? Yeah. or you're great strategically. That's what we need to do. It's not just then to say, well, okay, fine, you have these skills, let us ignore it. But you can actually see how you can build on those skills, widen the platform so that the persons are more beneficial to the organization. And then as an individual, I don't think the C style is going to be bashful. So the C style will actually make sure that people see that they have leadership skills and that they're not just in a technical area. They have breadth of competence. Yeah? And so also you want to then get involved, get more involved with what is happening on the other side in terms of the creative activities, in terms of the interpersonal relations. Yeah? Show those kinds of things. Demonstrate that you have emotional intelligence and so on. And then people might start to see you more in line with general management and CEO arrangements. So that's basically the quick idea. I'm suggesting to you that you take another look, right? Because as I said, this is different. I haven't seen any literature on this idea of behavioral styles pigeonholing. Look at it and to see how prevalent it is in your organization and what it is that you can do. Yeah. So that you have people that morph in. As they come into the organization, you start to channel them in a particular area. And then you have these in groups that start to build walls around them, you know, group think come in and then you can't communicate across the silos because of the walls. So look at it. We can help you if you would like. Send me an email at info@successwithpeople.org and we can talk about it, because that's what we deal with when we're doing our training and our consulting services, is to look at that. All right. I'm going to do a quick, for those of you who might have come in, see how I can go high fly through the thing. All right. What we're talking about is the whole idea then that when we get into groups, we have that group identity, and that group identity tends to say this is who we are and that's not who we are, and then we start to have exclusion, and that's how silos come around. And so pigeonholing is a precursor to silos. And we're saying that it's not just innocent typecasting, it is actually harmful, because individuals are put in channels that might not be where they want to go. And we are saying, no, man, yeah, man, that is you. Right? you can speak up, man, and we need great salespeople. Oh, you're such a kind, understanding person. Oh, you're wonderful for HR. Let's not. That might not be what the person wants. Right? So the other thing now would be style by style. We're saying that with respect to dominance, one of the dangers with saying, oh, you have great leadership qualities. Well, being assertive doesn't mean that you have great leadership qualities. And we introduce the concept of the glass cliff as against the glass ceiling, where individuals are thrust into high profile positions without necessarily having the support or the training. And of course, you're setting them up to fail, which is why the glass cliff. And these style individuals tend to be most prone to that kind of scenario. And we're saying generally across the board, this is role rotation or cross training. We need to develop leadership programs that are guided by the person's behavioral assessment, so that they can understand what it is that they need to do from their behavioral preferences. And people should have more say in their careers. Take on some responsibility, whether it is through a mentor, skills development, or volunteering. Those are some of the things that you can do. In terms of the I style, your big problem would be that because of their mannerisms and so on, people don't take them seriously, because they're more free flowing, and so on, creative and persuasive. So they tend to get pushed into PR and sales and customer service and not seen necessarily as the next CEO. We need to look at that because we are then missing out. Right? So one of the things that we need to go back again, the same idea of the cross training and so on. And then of course, this iStyle tend to do a lot more things that are outside of their JD. So we're saying maybe you need to take that into consideration. The S style, understated, quiet, and expecting that you would see my value. I should have to be there trying to sell myself. Here it is. I come and work every day. I give you excellent service. You should know that I am right for the promotion. Okay, life doesn't work like that, unfortunately. So they tend to get overlooked. And of course, the organization is losing out then on great talent. What should you do? Every time we talk about this style behavior, we are saying, be less submissive. Be less submissive. Push out yourself. Let people know what it is you want to do. Okay? Let people know what it is that you want to do. Share your goals and, actually be network. Defend yourself. All right? So as the C style now is that they have these special skills. People say, oh, you're analytical or you have this. And so they start to channel them into accounting or quality assurance, etc. Not general management necessarily. Okay, so that's something that we have to look at. And so they're not being given the training that would help them to be more valuable to the organization in different areas. That's something that we need to look at, and you need to go and make sure that you widen your skill sets and let people know that you have the skill sets. Go back again to the leadership development programs that need to speak to people from their behavioral style. All right, that's it. I want to invite you again. Send me an email, info@successwithpeople, and let us talk. I want to just also give you a more an easier way of communicating, which is if you want to just go to my HubSpot, meetings.hubspot.com/Trevor.Smith, Trevor/Smith4, right? And we are the Success with People Academy, and we work with individuals, teams, and organizations to help them be their best selves. And we are we use this discerning model of communication and leadership as part of our tools, I suppose, intellectual property. And again, a lot of this content, like these live casts, these insights are available on YouTube. If you go to Extended Disc Solutions on YouTube, you would see these live casts. We also have our Leadership DNA Club on LinkedIn that you can join and get all this rich content. And of course, our Success with People newsletter is available on LinkedIn. I think we are nearly 340, 330, high 300s in terms of articles. And so valuable content is there. Yeah. So who we are, we're part of the InfoServe group. We are SHRM recertification providers. And we are, by the way, not just in the behavioral side, we also have powerful technology solutions, one of which you will soon hear some more about, that will revolutionize a lot of what we are doing. All right. So thank you. As I promised to be out of here in 30 to 35 minutes. My time is up, but please let's talk. See you next time.